I'm glad to introduce the next speaker, Olga Eckardt, the TRIZ practitioner with a background more than 30 years in this domain. Olga, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I will share my screen.
Okay.
So I hope you see my presentation.
Okay, we'll see. We can see.
Yeah, so we will talk today about using the tools of the TRIZ and the TRIZ approach in the shared and distributed teams. And I will start firstly with definitions, because as it was even discussed already in the chat, so it's quite important sometimes to define and to give the right definitions. And as well, Valerie was mentioned this, because in other case, we're sometimes not able to solve the problem. So we can have a group, we can have a team, we can have shared team, we can have a distributed team. And mostly we are working with all these situations. So the group is just a pack of individuals which you have as your task forces maybe, or with your staff. And it's, yeah, they have no together motivation. They might not will work or might will work together, but if it can be inefficiently, it can be, so it can be absolutely differently, and there will be no a clear picture how it's working together, and you cannot expect the good results from this. Then we have a term team when we really have a set of people who is working and who able to work together effectively. And we normally will talk about the project, not with the daily operations, because for the daily operations, it's not necessary to have really teams to do some standard daily operations. If you have a set of production operations or this or that, where it's known how to react, where it's known for every operations what is quality and what is not quality, and how we are dealing with this, so we are not need to really build a team. We can have a set of the people, it still will work mainly quite good. And the team, of course, you can have your exclusive separated team who is working only for you. But typically we have a shared team. It's meaning that the team is working not only for you, but working for some other project, other daily operations, other anything else. So they have at minimum other maybe bosses whom they are reporting the things, and then at the end, so you are share these people with not 100% of their time. And it can be a distributed team. It can be your own team, very personal, very this, but they are distributed in different time zones. They are sitting in different locations. They are physically not accessible on the same time. They have different languages, interculture, and any other differences. Quite often we have shared distributed team. So we have a specific situation where we have a people who for some project was need to come together to implement it. Some changes, I will give some examples, of course. And they are located differently. They can have this distributed teams properties, but they as well are shared team because they are even not belongs to you. And there is, so two kind of problems, two different things, what is coming together where you need to take care. I will give you two examples of projects where I have been very active. So one quite old project, we have done inter-university study. We have done inter-university program for the students, where the students was able to take a different subject, a selective subject from each university. So every university in this pool was offered some training subject, and then the students for all of this university was able to say, okay, I want to have a mathematics not from my university but from University of Plzeň. I want to have the informatic or marketing. I'm more interested on University of Genoa to get it from there, not from my university. So all who was in this set of universities can, and then the teachers firstly need to create it. This was one of the situation where we have quite old already. It's, I mean, this story is more than 20 years old. And in this situation, we have a team which is located in the different places, and especially the as a project lead, for example, from my university, all this and for some activities of this, not I have responsibility for all these people. I have only particularly I can only communicate with them with different languages, with the different time zones, with the different responsibilities and this and that. So it's quite limited. The one thing. From the other thing, not 100% of our time was spent to this. So all of us was university tutors in this moment, and we need to take care about this. So we need to actively take a part as a normal life. The other example, which I will comment in the different slides, is a quite recent example. So company where I'm working decided to implement new out-of-the-box solution from SAP, so S/4HANA Cloud, which is really out-of-the-box solution. It's meaning that you're not able to set up it, to change it. So it's not let's say for SAP is not their typical product, because this is a absolutely other kind of software. The out-of-the-box software is something totally different. So, and there we need to, of course, we have SAP as a part who is helping us to implement. We have our head office who is doing, we have our subsidiary where we implementing these things. So we have a distributed, shared team. Every person in this team have daily work and this part of project. We are in the different countries. We have different time zones, languages, skills, and so on. So two kind of examples, and then I will just a bit, show it later how it's working or not working. So from the perspective of TRIZ, we need to understand that the team, we can look on the team as on the system with the function, resources, processes, flow, sub and super system. So just let's start to look on this as on the, not on the abstract cloud, which is just existing. Oh, it's team. It's just this 4 characters together, which we don't understand what does it mean. But we are start to work with exactly understanding which functions team is doing, which resources we have inside of the team, which resources is missing for the team, which processes is included, which flows are existing, if we have a problem in the flow, and this and that. Currently in this presentation, I want to say we will not talk about the quality of the scope or about the quality of the, I don't know, the end product or these things. We assume that we have a good product which we would want to have. Because even the great team will if the scope is wrong, or if there are wrong technologies used and this and that, so great team will not provide you any good effect. So maximum what we can talk in this presentation, it's the team management with including the TRIZ. So the first thing, what is good to do and what is need to do from the TRIZ perspective, we should do the reality management to the decomposition. So what kind of resources we have in the team, what kind of resources we don't have, what the quality of the soft or hard skill, what is time, what is capabilities. And this is specifically because we need to understand if the time is overlapping, if we need to know, if we need to do some common meetings and we are staying in the different time zones like Asia, Europe, and America. So it's near not possibly to do one team meeting, or someone need to be in the night. So it will be night shift. How much time we have, how much time is dedicated. Just imagine when I get from SAP answers that one resource is dedicated for me 50%. It's more or less 2.5 days, but how they will be distributed. If this will be 2 days when or 2.5 days when the person is fully working for me, or I will have only, and what will be in between, if in between will be some answer on the questions on my mails and this and that. So how these time frames for shared teams are organized, that this will be really active work for one or another topic. If we will have some policies to not work for another project in this moment, if we have a this additional problems in this project because of this, then we need to decompose team processes, the planning, communications, how we are overgiving tasks. So this relay race and testing and working and training, who is doing what, how we understand that the teams are really getting in the right quality and in understandable tasks. And the information flow, of course, the statuses of the project, of the changes, of the knowledge, of the transfer, of the decision taking. For these things in this, it's quite nicely can be used the model of TRIZ, which will be presented in one of the next topics, where it will be the outcome of the ontology of the second year ontology work. There it would be interesting to define criteria for team performance, because if we have a criteria, then we can say, okay, team is fulfilling or not fulfilling. We can use for this some KPIs, we can use for this benchmarking, we can use for this comparison with the previous project or something, some other, and we can come with a list of requirements to measure and then to improve. If we have something to measure and we say, okay, this process is going slow, then we can improve it. If we have no comparison, then we normally say, okay, could my team work better if it's already okay, or maybe it's maximum, maybe it's minimum, should I do something? The other thing is using TRIZ development or evolution law to improve the team. Okay, I think, KPI criteria. So the other team, let's say I was taking benchmarking. How long time the other company was implementing in one subsidiary as this S4HANA solution, S4HANA cloud solution. Oh, they was 1.5 years. Oh, how long we was taking? Oh, we was taking 1 year. Oh, yeah, KPI. We say, overall KPI is good. But can I improve it? Can I do something better? Can I optimize? Can I overtake some functions? Can I get more ideality or something else? So you still have room of improvement, even if the formally KPI benchmarking or any other comparison is giving you good results. In case of decreasing efficiently, you can definitely, something is happening in your team. So you understand, wow, yesterday it was working well, today it was not working well, or it was a 2 months as everything not working well, and suddenly, wow, it started to work well. I want to understand why. So you can use analysis as the situation. It's similar like saboteur analysis and these things. So you can just use it and then get understanding how you are dealing with this. Please, when you are talking about your team, understand it as a really system over the time. So like 9 screen. We have a team currently, but the team or teams was before somehow, and we have the past of this. It was all these processes of joining team, of forming, storming, norming. Now we are in the beforming. We have some environment or some subsystem. We have their families. We have business culture of every subsidiary in the case of implementation of SAP, or every university, how they are dealing, what they are dealing, what they need to approve. We have their hobbies. We have their free time. We have their, in what they are included as a part, but we have as well their own opinion, their own understanding for every of these persons, their own motivation, their own way how to deal with this, their own things. And we have a problem in many cases in the team then if they are not understanding what the future are waiting for them is a problem, that if they have no transparency, they can be afraid, they have questions. So what happened? If there are some plans from my bosses, from my companies, if it will be developed, if it will be this, if it will be that, they can have their doubt, they can have their opinion about this. So if you do for them transparency of the future, how the next development stage would be, it can be more relevant and more easy to work with this. Let's say the two examples, what I was mentioned, the between university example. So we was trying to do such a project with generally not understanding if we allowed to use it for several years, or this will be pilot project. 1 year students will be taking these programs and then it will be killed forever. Honestly, it was what was happened. It was killed forever. Generally it was not allowed from the government in European Union because the program need to be fixed and authorized by the local, let's say, governmental things. And it was very complicated to say that we have this remote part from the other universities. So it was not going through this approval of the university program. So we need to kill it. And close to the end of the project, this shared team, when we understood that this will be anyway killed, so there was no motivation anymore to do. We firstly have questions, but we have a positive mood. Later, we already have a question if we are allowed to reuse it at minimum internally. But we have very negative mood, and of course, outcome. Let's say in the end of the day, it was not well working. The same story was this this new software. So we change one software to another software. There are part of team currently who is performing and who is saying, okay, I'm supporting the old system to overgive all the data. But what happened with me when I will overgive all the data? Should I be out of the company? So what kind of mood I should have? And many of the things where they are not transparent, when they are not enough transparent, then we have a problem that we, instead of this performing team, because of the doubt of the future, we are coming back to this, to this non-performing team, to the past of the real teamwork. What about the contradiction? Lovely, nice tool in TRIZ. So honestly, if you're able to really show the contradiction, you're able to solve it. But mainly we have a problem, we don't understand the contradiction, or it's not visible, or it's not shown for us. There are hidden of information, there are lack of transparency, there are this, there are that. So we know that something is not working, but there are no formulated contradictions what we can solve. I would be agreed that in the business system and in case of the social system, it's quite easily, if you will find, if you see the contradiction or you see the solution, you can more easily adapt it and transfer it. It's true, it's for this case as well, more easily than in technique to adapt. But sometimes we just don't see it. You're able to see, you're able to solve. Mainly, it's hidden. But very good, from my opinion and from perspective of this two project which I mentioned, was working this Ideality. So we was try to build up ideal team, and then this was why I was mentioning the specific things of decomposition. Ideal team is looking if they have all necessary resources. I can say which resources we need, or even the team as ideal team saying me to fulfill these tasks, which resources we need and how much they are able to cover. Ideal team by themselves is saying me how much they need to have a time and this and that. generally, to start to build ideal team, I have two ways. One way is make a common session and start to talk with them, to self-organize them, that they would take or overtake the initiative. Not I'm as a team manager or a project manager would start to give them, but they would be taking. But we talked, shared and distributed team, different time zones, they not understand each other, they can have a shame, get some persons from, I don't know, China, and they will be politely keeping silent quite long when the European already takes some tasks, and then the European might complain that the Chinese don't want to take a task. Chinese would say, sorry, you was even not give me a time to say something. It was too much, it was too compressed. So it can be different ways. It can be with the different countries, absolutely differently, even inside of one country, it can be different. It's even connected to the culture of the small organization. The second way is make, this is what we found, let's say, to try to achieve this ideality. We try to make like wish list, which kind of works I have. And in the wish list, I was take as well possibilities to say, okay, this work I want to do and I'm professional there. This work I want to do, but I'm not professional there. I'm absolutely beginner and I want to be trained, but overtake it. And I can say as well, there are the works where I say, okay, I can do it, but it's not my preference. I will put it on the preference list down. But if no one is not able to do it, okay, I will give my hand, I will do this. There, after such a wish list, we can more or less optimize that the people will get quite a lot of tasty tasks, what they want to do. And if they want to have as well mentoring with this, they will be getting mentoring of this. Ideal team in such a situations on the planning and on the open discussions, they by themselves are saying things who is able to do, I mean, especially with this wish list, who is able to do something and who is don't want to do, but able to give a hand when it's needed. And they would be trying to self-avoid the bottleneck to sharing something, and they would be doing this, they would avoid the spread of responsibility to have no one responsible, and they would be by themselves making this rescheduling when something is going slower and this and that. And there is quite interesting, it's partially coming from Agile, so we don't do this 5 minutes every day. Or we in Agile project, of course, we do, but we have regular meetings where it was always, firstly, we was trying to, as in a similar Agile style, to make it transparent, that the others able to give advice and able to step and able to say, oh, I want. And from the other side, we would try to teach them with a communication. So for every single person, if I have free time, what should I pick next? What is the next priority in my list? What can I do next to force the project further? Or if I'm get stuck or I need help, whom I will ask first. And this was quite important. And the last but not least is depending how you build up your bonus and appraisals, how you will really say them, thank you for what? And there, yeah, okay. And there is a special thing. So it's with the right motivations, you can easily achieve this ideal teams which want to work and do their work good. So individual target is good and great, but as well project target. And then the whole team are appraisal, and doesn't matter if you was achieve more individual or less. This is a part of a bonus or a part of recognition of this. A bonus, not necessary to be monetary bonus. It can be, yeah, it can other kind of bonuses be anyway. So if they learn, if some individual was learn something new, if he was teach something new others, if he was found a way to make it more efficiently, or take more responsibilities than the previous project, or find a new way to improve communication or improve projects. So the bonuses need to, and the appraisals and recognitions need to lead your team to these ideal things. if they are doing it more and more ideal, if you are really as a team leader is not needed then you need to improve it and apprise and recognize it and help them with this. Yeah, short summary, pro and cons with all and everything is the same. You have shared distributed team who have much more experience, much more abilities, much more access of information, abilities to talk and this and that. I mean, currently in this SIP project, I have a local who is able to locally discuss a specific topic, and I have persons who was in, for example, from Polish SIP subsidiary, who over giving hints how they are doing in the other countries these things. The implementation was in the Czech and Slovak. So, and the same things was with this inter-university program. So we are giving hints, we are giving the ideas how it was done, we are moving the best practice, but of course it's bringing more problems, because what is a cons is problems. Yeah, I try to be short.
Thank you very much, Olga. And we have several questions in the chat. First question from Ilya. I will translate. Could you detail, please, how you solved the organization of joint conference for employees from different time zones?
Generally, from this point of view, we do two of conferences, which is not good. It's not ideal solution, because then not all in the same time able to say their opinion. Or we try to find this compromise when we really put someone on the night shift, because so far, even with the TRIZ, I'm not able to change the time zones. Sometimes, of course, we do it physically. During the Corona time, we generally have no physical contacts. Currently, we again just physically coming in one place and trying at minimum to minimize this time zone differences, even if the part is located somewhere, than to have it less. But yeah.
Thank you very much. And the next question from Dmitry Popov. How you solved, how you decide to assign not interested, maybe not tested tasks for the team?
Yeah, this is specifically when I said about this wish list. It's very interesting that in the team, it's some people who something what I would expect as absolutely not interesting task, take them as they want to do it. Really, when we was create a good wish list, we understood that for every task is some person who want to do it. This is, I mean, and we was not doing it publicly. This is another story. This is another problem. So if you do it publicly, some people would say, I don't want to do the testing. It's not on my place. But when you do it hiddenly and just collect from the person, so you see that the person saying, oh, honestly, I'm business consultant and this and that, but I want to do the testing of the other topics because it's interesting for me. And then you find that honestly, more than 99% is normally we are covering. There are one or another topic where some people are saying, okay, I can as well do it if no one don't want, and then we agreed. And is this part of the appraisals? That's in the next project, you will get more interesting tasks if you was more creative and more bring for this project.
Thank you very much. We completed all time slot. And Olga, you can read several questions in the chat and can answer them. I'm going to return to the main section